Alright, so what we're going to do in these series of videos is just short snippets of C sharp programming. This is going to be um, introductory to mid-level, so I'm not going to floss over or spend a lot of time on specifics like variables because the more you code, the better you'll get. So I want to get through this, get to design patterns, and then from there look at solving programming solutions. Now, what I'm going to do in the previous tutorials, what I normally do is just make a console application. And what I'd like to do here is use a class library, and I'm going to use C sharp for that. Now, notice right off the bat, it says a project for creating class libraries that targets .NET standards. What's cool about class libraries is you can use them across many platforms, and you can see the platforms here. If you use a console application, it's really just for Windows, but the output could essentially be the same for testing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And I always like to type, just name my first class or my project name play. And it's okay to have a solution name as play. Now, the classes we're going to make are probably, because as you notice from back here, for those of you who do any kind of Unity scripting, it's going to be game related. Here's some code that I've just recorded a tutorial on making a player controller for in Unity. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create here. So we're going to relate it and keep it in the same family. So after it's done putting everything together, you'll notice that the within the Solution Explorer, and what this is this is where all of your files are located. So you can see this is my C Sharp solution that's play, and they created a default class for us. We're going to get into classes more. What I want to do is I'm going to show you how to create your own class. So I'm going to select this, and I'm just going to hit delete. And as class 1 CS will be deleted permanently, that's okay. We're going to make our own. So I'm going to right click on play, go down to add, and I'm just going to click on class. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is change this from class 1 to something a little bit along with what we are thinking about. So I'm going to make a player character class, and this is going to serve as the structure um, eventually for all different types of player characters. So say you're making a wizarding game, you have different types of wizards, or you're making a war game and you have different types of soldiers. The player character class will sort of have commonalities. We'll get into that stuff later. But anyway, you'll see here player character. I'm going to go ahead and add. You can see it added my player character class. Okay, so let's go ahead and create some fields. Let's start off by making a string, and this is really just a series of characters or letters. And I'm going to name it player name. And what's interesting is um, there's a specific naming convention way of naming that's might be different than what you're used to. So notice that this starts with a capital P. Um, we're going to try, like in my other videos, I always start them off with a lowercase p. So I want to show you this other way of working to kind of get you used to kind of coding in other styles. Um, so you'll see me refer to that. So if this was a private variable or public, you'll see different things happening, like there'll be an underscore in front. So I'll get into that later. But for now, let's just kind of keep this, um, just sort of this default way of doing it, just so um, you kind of, as I get through it, so I don't overcomplicate it for you. So anyway, so here we have a variable or a field called string player name, and this field is within our method. I'm going to hit Control and D here to duplicate it a couple more times. So I want my player to have a name, and I want them to have an ability. So I'm gonna just name this like ability name. So say my character is like really good at robots or technology or whatever. Um, and then like let's see, and really it should be player character name. So let's do that. I'm gonna grab this, pop that in. Player character name, ability name, character ability name. I guess would be kind of good. Player character, maybe player character ability. That's probably better. There we go. You have to forgive me, I'm kind of coming down with something. So player character ability, And you know what? Let's leave it at that because I want to keep these videos short just so we can get on to the next thing. So we only have two fields for this, and we could add more as we go along.